children, I am Madalasa Ramosi, English teacher. Today we are going to continue the lesson The Invention of Vita-Wonk from grade 7 English reader Honeycomb. Hope you understand the first part of the lesson. Let us see what is going to happen in the second part of the lesson in Invention of Vita-Wonk. Before going into the lesson, let us have a glance and overview of the lesson. Here, in this lesson, we have three main parts. They are recap, reading comprehension, the invention of Vita-Wonk, working with the text. Before going into the lesson, let us see what are the learning objectives that you will achieve after the ending of the lesson. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to summarize and tell the story of invention of Vita-Wonk in own words and its effects on the Oompa Loompa who consumed it. Express the dangers associated with the ingredients used in creating the Vita-Wonk. Tell how the insects affect their health. Have a discussion in the class. Rearrange the words and use them to prepare a meaningful recipe. Create a family tree. Explain the relationship with one another. Let's recap the lesson once again. Mr. Willy Wonka invented a medicine which makes people so younger. Sometimes their age becomes -2. So, he was in necessity to invent another new medicine which can make people oldest. For this, he wants some samples of oldest living things. So, he went to all over the world to collect such things in his first invention, Great Glass Elevator, which can take him to anywhere in the world. He traveled all over the world and collected so many samples of oldest and strange things. They are sap of a pine, toenail clippings of a person, an egg of a tortoise, the tail of a old horse, the whiskers of a cat, an old flea, the tail of a giant rat, the black teeth of a person, the knuckle bones of a cow, etc. Now, we will continue and let us see what did Willy Wonka do with all his oldest and strange things. All over the world, Charlie, Mr. Wonka went on. I tracked down very old and ancient animals and took an important little bit of something from each one of them. That is, Mr. Willy Wonka says to Charlie that, Charlie, I traveled all over the world. I collected oldest and strange things from all over the world. I took an important little bit of something from each of them. A hair or an eyebrow, or sometimes it was no more than an ounce or two of the jam scraped from between its toes while it was sleeping. He took little things such as a hair or eyebrow from them. He also takes jam from between the toes of certain animals. It would be just an ounce or two that the animal would have had between the foot. He had to take it only when it was sleeping, making the whole process subtle and get attacked by the animal. So, would he able to do something strange? Let us see. I tracked down the whistle pig. Now he is talking about the oldest thing, weirdest thing. Let us see what are they all. I tracked down the whistle pig, the bobolink, the scrag, the polyfrog, the giant curlicue, the stinging slug, and the venomous squircle who can spit poison right into your eye from 50 yards away. So, now what did he do? He went to all these strange creatures, some whistlepig, bobolink, skylark, polyfrog, a curlicue, stinging slug, and squircle, which is venomous. Its poison is very dangerous. It can spit poison even from 50 yards away direct into eyes. That much poison is squircle. But There is no time to tell you about them all now, Charlie. Now, Wonka is saying that I can't explain about all these things now because he has less time to explain everything in detail as he has to bring the grandparents alive. Let's see the oldest animals details now. Whistle pig. The whistle pig is a large-sized rodent characterized by its short, stocky legs and large claws. The bobolink. The bobolink is a small New World blackbird and only member of the genus Dolichonyx. An old name for this species is the rice bird, from its tendency to feed on cultivated grains during winter and migration. The skrak. The skrak is a strange animal. The polyfrog. It is a type of frog which becomes from wood frog after 82 years is called polyfrog. The giant curlicue. The giant curlicue is a rare animal. The stinging slug. These slugs are powerful sting as a predator deterrent. Venomous squircle is the animal which produces poison and can spit poison exactly into a person's eye even if they are 50 yards away. Okay, children? These are the strange and weirdest animals. Now again move into the lesson. Let me just say quickly that in the end, after lots of boiling and bubbling and mixing and testing in my inventing room, I produced one tiny cupful of oily black liquid and gave 4 drops of it to a brave 20-year-old Oompa Loompa volunteer to see what happened. So he had tested it in the lab, thereby bringing in bubbles, smoke, etc. After boiling and mixing it in his inventing room, he gets a thick, oily cup of black liquid which he gives to one of the volunteers, the Oompa Loompa, who was brave, took 4 drops of it. When Charlie asks what was the result. Children, now let us see some meanings of the new words. Let us see some new words in this paragraph and know their meanings. Okay, children? Track down, found by searching for it. Bubbling, emitting or filled with bubbles as from carbonation or fermentation. Venomous, poisonous. Spit, to force out the contents of mouth. Children, now you follow with me another time. Track down, found by searching for it. Bubbling, emitting or filled with bubbles as from carbonation or fermentation. Venomous, poisonous. Spit, to force out the contents of mouth. Next, we'll see what was the reply of Charlie. What did happen? Charlie asked. It was fantastic, cried Mr. Onka. The moment he swallowed it, he began wrinkling and shriveling up all over, and his hair started dropping off, and his teeth started falling out, and before I knew it, he had suddenly become an old fellow of 75. And thus, my dear Charlie, was Vita-Wonk invented. So, when Charlie asks what was the result was, Wonka gladly reports that the result turned out to be fine as the potion worked. The volunteers started becoming old with noticeable changes such as falling of hair, teeth, etc. He gets all the physical attributes of a 75 years old. So finally, Wonka invents an antidote named Vita-Wonk to bring the grandparents back. And this is how he invented a new medicine, Vita-Wonk, which can turn a man very old. And before he invented Wonka White, which can turn a man young even minus. This was very short part of Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator written by Roald Dahl. Let us see some new words in this paragraph and know their meanings. Okay, children? Inventing room, laboratory, swallow, allow to pass down the throat, shriveling, shrink, volunteer, a person who works for an organization without being paid. Children, now repeat after me. Inventing room, laboratory, swallow, allow to pass down the throat, shriveling, shrink, volunteer, a person who works for an organization without being paid. Fine. Let's move into the author details. Roald Dahl was a British popular author of children's literature and short stories. Charlie and Chocolate Factory and Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator are very much famous books. Children, now you have to think and answer some questions. You try to answer them. What trees does Mr. Wonka mention? Which trees does he say lives the longest? How long does this tree live? Where can we find it? Children, now you have to think about these questions and answer. How many of the oldest living things can you remember from Mr. Wonka's list? Do you think all these things really exist? Or are some of them purely imaginary? Think it and try to answer. Why does Mr. Wonka collect items from the oldest things? Do you think this is the right way to begin his invention? What happens to the volunteer who swallows 4 drops of the new invention? What is the name of the invention? Children, try to answer these questions. What do you call these insects in your language? That is, in your mother tongue. How do these insects affect your health? Have a discussion in the class. Okay? Here, fill in the blanks in the recipe given below with words from the box given. We had to prepare palak dal recipe. It's an easy process. You have to fill the correct words in the blanks. Example, 1 dash means 1 cup dal, 2 thin green chilies, dash a teaspoon red chili powder, 8 small bunches of palak, 2 dash salt to taste. Now let us see the answers for these ingredients. Yes, children, your answers are correct. 1 cup dal, 2 thin green chilies, half a teaspoon red chili powder, 8 small bunches of palak, 2 tomatoes, salt to taste. Now let us see how to prepare palak dal. Now, preparation of palak dal. Look at the recipe. Wash and cut the vegetables. Shred the palak. Put everything in a pressure cooker. Let the cooker whistle 3 times, then switch it off. Fry a few cumin seeds in oil and add to the palak dal. That's it. Palak dal prepared. Here is working with language task. Fill in the family tree. Hope you are familiar with your family tree. So, write your great grandparents, grandparents, parents, children, grandchildren, great grandchildren names in this family tree. If you have their photos, you may even stick photographs too. Put your family trees up in the class. Now do it yourself. Let us watch the family tree picture once. Children, here is the family tree diagram. You fill it up now. Okay? Now the speaking task. Using do. Here, for example, I can question what happened means what happened simply. If I ask what did happen, it emphasizes the question with stress. Given below are a few emphatic utterances. Say them to your partner. Let your partner repeat your utterance without the emphasis. Your partner may also add something to show he or she disagrees with you. So, basically, now you have all these sentences with the emphasis where you can use do, did, does, etc. For example, please keep quiet. Please do keep quiet. I play games. I do play games, etc. You see, you. Here, there is a conversation between you and your partner. You. I did study. Partner. You studied? I don't believe you. Look at your marks. So, here, did is removed and basic verb became be2 form. Similarly, you have to fill the remaining. Let's see the answers once. Partner. You went there. Then how was I unable to find you there? I do play games. You play games? Then why don't you participate in the school? You. He does read his books. Partner. He reads his books, but he is never able to answer the questions correctly. You. You do say the most unbelievable things. Partner. I say the most unbelievable things. Why do you feel so? You. The earth does spin around. Partner. The earth spins around. How can you be sure? You. We all do want you to come with us. Partner. You want me to come with you? Why did not you guys call me earlier? You. Who does know how to cook? Partner. I do not, but can't say about my elder sister. I think she knows how to cook. You. I do believe that man is a thief. Partner. You believe that man is a thief. This is about speaking practice using do emphasis. Okay, let's move into another task, writing. Now children, it's a writing task. Make a list of the trees Mr. Wonka mentions. Where do these trees grow? Try to find out from an encyclopedia. Write a short paragraph about 2 or 3 of these trees. One more question. Name some large trees commonly found in your area. Find out something about them. How old are they? Who planted them? Do birds eat their fruits? Etc. And write 2 or 3 sentences about each one of them. Okay, children? One more question for you. Find out something interesting about age or growing old and write a paragraph about it. Following are a few topics suggested as examples. The age profile of a country's population, Does it have more young people than old people, or vice versa? What are the consequences of this? Here is another question for you. How can we tell how old a tree, a horse, or a rock is? What is the life expectancy of various living things and various populations? How long can they reasonably expect to live? So, children, these are the few questions you have to think and answer. Now, try to answer all the questions. Hope you understood the lesson so far and all the exercises. All the best for the next lesson. Okay, children? Children, let us see what you have learned so far. Mr. Wonka collected some more ancient items like the whistle pig, bobolink, the scrag, the polyfrog, the giant curlicue, the stinging slug, and the venomous squircle, etc. Then he prepared a new medicine by using all the old items called Vita-Wonk, which can make people old, older, oldest. He used this Vita-Wonk on Oompa Loompa volunteer, who became suddenly 75 years old from 20 years. Thus, he succeeded in inventing the Vita-Wonk.